think we're getting it together. Yep, there it is. We did it. Hey, no Simple Road family. This is Aaron.
It's Mel.
And it's Apple.
We are back for another edition of the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind, brought to you in collaboration with the Edible Beats. Oh, no, not the Edible Beats. Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolates. Yeah, go check that out. Follow them on Instagram at Melt Mushroom. Shoot them a DM. Tell them we sent you. You know the deal. That's the thing. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah.
All right.
Take us into it, Mel.
Well, this week we decided to do a little pre-game funkin' with our Cascade Equinox Festival that's going to be happening September 20th through the 22nd in Redmond, Oregon.
This is right. I got all the lights on now. There we go.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah. So we thought that we would jump on here and talk about some of our favorite stuff from last year, talk about some of the cool new stuff that's happening this year, and just get us all excited because we are in full swing of festival season.
This is true.
We just wanted to talk about it and bring it up and get y'all excited for Cascade Equinox.
It was really cool to have the first year, like, first of all, seeing the lineup last year, we were all sprung.
That was a greatest lineup.
And then because it's a large festival happening here in Oregon, like since we lost Northwest String Summit,
yes,
there's nothing really
fill in that
gap
to that scale.
And this kind of made me feel like everything was going to be okay.
Yeah. No, you're right. It definitely put some hope back into the Oregon,
music scene.
Yeah. And a lot of people, what Cascade Equinox did right last year was put such a plethora of different musicians together to like give everybody something to love there.
Yeah.
When we saw Goose, we're like, fuck yeah, jam band time. And then, we're like, Dirt Wire, what? Hell
Pretty
yeah,
Lights. Holy shit.
It was kind of incredible for everybody. And this year's a little bit, the lineup's definitely different, which you want a different lineup. You don't want the same thing over and over, no matter how great it was. So this year, there's a little bit more of feel. Well, actually, I'll take that back. It's still pretty different. So headlining this year is Jungle, which they put on an incredible show.
Okay.
Closey, STS9.
Oh shit.
Liquid Stranger and Mark Rebele. Yeah. So those are the headliners for Cascade.
And then also you've got like,
oh no, we've got tons and tons and tons of other bands that I just haven't mentioned, but these are the headliners.
Yeah. Kitchen Dwellers are playing. Our boys Sponge are going to be out there.
We got Daily Bread. We got John Craigie and the Shook Twins from locally. We got High Step Society.
Sun Squabby.
So they really are like taking the best of all worlds. Like the talent that's up here. We've said this a million times on the show. The talent that's up here in the Pacific Northwest, I feel like, I'm biased because I live up here, but I feel like that is like second to none. And I feel like these artists that are here and are regional are finally getting their day in the sun because of festivals like this.
Yes.
And not to mention, like, you go to some festivals and it's just asshole to elbow tense. And then you go to the stage to see your favorite band and you can barely move. And the only thing to do other than see music is party and eat. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
The necessities.
Unless you come with like a good group of friends and you are all planning something, which that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Then you're kind of like at the mercy of what the festival offers. But
that was not the case with Cascade.
No, what I was going to say is Cascade kind of took it to another level, and they're not the only ones. But again, we're talking about Cascade because we're here and we're going,
and we can't wait to be there.
But like one of the places that they had was like the wellness area last year.
What did you think about that?
To be honest, I wish I would have spent more time there. I wish I would have gotten a treatment. I wish I would have like done more there, but we were working also. So it wasn't, I didn't want to sneak away and go get like an hour-long treatment when we were all in the middle of doing something.
Trying to get content.
Trying to catch her.
I'll be back. I'm going to go get an IV.
Yeah, come back all blissed out, like, wait a minute. But I love what they did because it was like, somehow it was quiet and peaceful there. when it's in the middle of a festival. So to get a place that is quiet and beautiful and kind of like its own thing in the midst of a chaotic festival, that's a feat all in itself.
Yeah, it was cool. Like the Deschutes County Fairgrounds have like a little stream running through it, and there's like beautiful areas to sit.
They got the pond that's by the harvest stage.
Yeah,
and beautiful settings. Also, the settings all around the ground, like outside of the grounds, it's Eastern Oregon, and it is the desert part of Oregon.
High desert.
Yeah, high desert. It's not the desert we came from.
No.
It's like beautiful desert, and just it was just magical. All the grounds around there, because we stayed at Airbnb, a little drive away, which was an amazing, awesome drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's very welcoming.
It was the
community.
First time that I've seen a festival have, like, besides like Fish Mexico, right? Like something like that, where they have like excursions you can go do.
Yes.
This was the first festival that I've seen have offerings like that, of like, you can go do mountain biking, or you can take a trip to a waterfall, or all kinds of stuff like that. Like, this isn't just like you're going to a festival. No. There's a lot more to do with this.
One thing that's cool too, and I think maybe we're a little biased because we go to quite a few festivals, but sometimes one festival is what you're going to go to in the summer.
Right.
For a lot of people, that's the case. So sometimes you want it to linger a little bit. You don't want to just go to the festival and leave. Cascade is doing something really cool about that, and they're kind of starting, and what they're doing is they're doing this thing called Feast to Festival charity event. So join the festival for its first Feast to Festival charity event, featuring a farm to table dinner by Feast Restaurant. So it's on the 19th. So it's right the day before the festival begins. It's from 4 to 9. So it's like a little nice evening, and enjoy a 5-course meal with locally sourced ingredients, expertly paired wines from Division Winery, and bespoke cocktails from Craft Bar Lounge. So there's going to be music throughout the evening. You can explore the festival grounds before everybody,
it's all crowded.
Yeah, before everybody gets there. So you can kind of like plan your course of action for the next day. And then all the proceeds that are associated with this go to the Waldorf School of Bend, which, if y'all are parents or grandparents or know anything about Waldorf School, you know how incredible. I had an opportunity to go to a Waldorf school when we first moved here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was working at that first spa that I was at, Rejuvenation, one of my clients, her children went to the Waldorf schools, and she was a dancer there. The mom was. So she was like, come, I want you to see what we do. So I went to this Waldorf school in Selwood and saw their grounds and how they do things, and I was just kind of blown away that was school for kids.
That's dope. And a music festival's like supporting that.
Yeah, it's a whole
dope.
And don't get me wrong, it's very expensive, the schools, to like have your kids go there, but if you're investing in your kid's future, like, it's a kind of like a drop in the bucket. You know what I mean?
And that's kind of the thing with this particular festival. Like I said, there's a lot of intention put into this. It's not just like, let's have music and throw a party. Well, that's there too.
That's what I was mentioning about, like, the what they're doing. Like, if it's your first or only festival of the year, they're doing stuff to like get you involved even before you get there.
Yeah, they have. So go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that's the other one that they're doing too. They're reaching out and they're collaborating with other festivals and stuff up in the area. They're doing the Melty Migration, which in a show of unity with its local community, Cascade Equinox is teaming up with the Pacific Northwest's renowned Summer Meltdown Festival.
Yeah.
And an exciting grassroots collaboration known as the Melty Migration. It will feature 2 Meltdown stage takeovers, one for the Thursday night pre-funk party and another on the harvest stage, showcasing some of Summer Meltdown's most cherished acts.
Yeah.
We were involved with Summer Meltdown years ago. It was incredible at White Horse Mountain, and incredible lineup, beautiful grounds. That was kind of like our favorite festival when we did it at the time, with just how the camping was, the music, everything. So this collaboration between Cascade and Summer Meltdown is, I'm really excited about it because they
Mhm.
didn't do this last year.
No.
This is new for this year. So I'm excited to see what these two awesome festivals do together in Deschutes.
I just remember last year, like, we had just gone to Dick's and hung out with Putt and Sax and everybody, the whole
Yeah.
crew, and it was like this bittersweet ending when Dick's was over. It was like, oh, this was
We
it.
all have
This
to
was
go our
this was
separate
it for the
ways.
We weren't
summer.
ready.
Shit. And then I remember being like, oh no, Cascade Equinox is coming.
That's right.
And you know, it had been a long festival season for us. We had done a lot last year.
Yeah, we did.
And you know, it's tiring traveling and doing shit all the time.
We'll be honest. We're getting a little bit older, all three of us, and so sometimes like 2 festivals is enough, or 3. But last year was quite a few
things. Yeah.
And so by the time we got to this, we were a little exhausted, and honestly, it rejuvenated.
It delivered.
Me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I went, and I remember leaving feeling like I never want to miss this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if it has to do with because it's here in Oregon or not, but like the feeling of community that happened there, everybody was chill. It was everybody letting their freak flag fly.
And it's Labor Day weekend too, right? Isn't it on
No.
Labor? No,
that's fish.
Fish.
That's
Okay.
fish. Yeah.
That was a good try though.
Sorry, it's not Labor Day.
But like I said, it's not just like music festival party. That's it. There's a ton of stuff to do when you're there on the grounds. There was like, I remember there was like an area that was covered that just had like drums and percussion stuff just laid out, and you could go at any time and go join a drum circle, and you didn't have to bring your own stuff. You could do that. Also, this is the Deschutes County Fairgrounds, so like it's prime for camping.
Oh yeah.
It's you're not camping on like some shitty rocks.
And how about being on a Ferris wheel to your favorite band? You know, like that is
the Ferris wheel is amazing.
It's such a beautiful thing to have in the middle. Like it's all lit up, so it's another like beautiful feature that's already there. But then to like be on the Ferris wheel while your band is playing, that's a whole like it's like being a big kid and like getting your dream come true.
Well,
and the Ferris wheel was a great landmark.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot. It's
meet me at the Ferris
wheel. You can see it from everywhere. There's no like, where is it?
Well, and another cool thing that we had there that we didn't expect to have was the Phoenix from Oregon Country Fair.
Yeah, Apple's favorite Phoenix.
So we, with all of our friends, took a photo in front of the Phoenix, and that's when we found
the nest.
The nest, exactly, and that was another beautiful artist
installation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Artist installation. And we got to talk to him for a little bit and find out about the nest, and it was just a really incredible from beginning to end, from our out-of-towner guests that it was their first, from our natives to all the music. It was something that we'll never forget.
One of the things that's kind of a bummer sometimes when you go to a festival is like the food deal. Like if you didn't pack food for yourself the whole time and you're like, oh, I'll just get food while I'm at the festival, your choices are like a dumpling, a pizza, or like weird shawarma, and then that's it for you for the weekend. And that was not what was happening at Cascade. It was dope.
It was hard to pick one. I tried many of them and never hit them all. Every single one of them was good. The Hawaiian food was amazing. The kebab place was amazing. The smash burger place,
Apple tore it up.
They had the root beer people there.
That's what I was gonna say. If you go back,
my favorite fucking things in all of Oregon. Oh my god!
If you go there this year and they have the root beer float people there, it was the one like after the main act, the late nights were getting ready to start, and you walk by the food area and there's like a line 500 feet long for one stall, and it was the root beer float thing. And I remember standing there with you and you're like, are you sure it's worth it to stand here and do this right now? I was like, Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, you were asking me because you didn't try it at fair.
No, he didn't.
I talked it up so much we never got it at fair, and then the line, you're like, is it really worth it, dude? And I'm like, yeah. And Aaron got it, and then you started recruiting people. You're standing there like, oh my god, and people are like, is it worth it? You're like, oh yes.
There's another thing that they're going to be doing. There was this venue, the warehouse,
The
the
North
Warehouse. And so what Cascade is doing, it's called the Northwest Takeover, North Warehouse. Sorry, I don't know why I throw West in there, but it's the North Warehouse Takeover. So they're thrilled to announce a collaboration with the North Warehouse, the venue that was unfortunately closed by the fire department. But they're going to be taking over the Tilt stage on Saturday night, and they're going to have performances from Liquid Stranger, Barclay Crenshaw, the Floozies,
Hell yeah.
Ravenscoon, Late Night Radio, and Park Breezy.
Yeah, and stay tuned. There's more surprises coming from that as well. They all, and then sometimes it's just, you and your crew looking forward to the festival. It's like, oh, we got 2 weeks. Oh, we got a week. Oh, we got 5 days, whatever. Three more sleeps. They're doing like entire summer concert series leading up to the festival, like keep you pumped about what's going on.
Yeah.
So this is the second annual Summer Jams concert series in collaboration with Four Peaks Music Festival, Craft Bar, and Lodge Camps, and it returns to Bend, Oregon. This event features live performances by talented local and regional musicians, a variety of local food vendors and artisans, and handcrafted cocktails, brews, wines, and ciders. And you can also secure fee-free tickets for Cascade at each concert. And if you go to the Cascade Equinox Instagram and find the post, you can get all the details there for that stuff. So you can pump yourself up and also not have to pay fees for your Cascade ticket.
And they have a pretty sweet VIP section too.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a whole VIP section that you can kind of like, you know what? I'm a little bit older. I don't want to feel like I want to be in everybody's business. I want my only side thing over here. And you can treat yourself right and get the full VIP experience. And that's another really awesome way to do a festival.
Yeah, I just remember like this was also on the heels of our first Oregon Country Fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the spirit of Oregon Country Fair is like nothing else. If you've never been to fair, imagine like Burning Man in the forest, right? Kind of thing.
But different.
But different. Run by the Merry Pranksters and Owsley. And that's the vibe, kind of. So we left fair with this like, I don't know, this feeling of like, wow, where could we ever find this thing again? And it was like Mel said, even the Phoenix was brought to Cascade. I remember that was one of the first things that kind of was impressed on me when we got settled and started walking around Cascade, was like, wow, there's a lot of like fair energy here.
Yes.
You could feel that Fair family is heavily involved in the doings of Cascade Equinox. And it's hard to put like words to what I'm talking about. You have to like,
it's because it's feeling.
Yeah, you have to go there and just be open to feeling that thing that is very unique to the Oregon Country Fair. And it's cool that that thing can be migrated out and placed at a music festival in Redmond.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's face it. I think everybody who's in the festival scene has heard of more than a couple festivals, big festivals closing down.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's sad. There's, financially, maybe like locationally, like a lot of reasons for this. So another reason that we want to support Cascade is because we live here in Oregon and we want something like this in Oregon. We want to see the big names in Oregon. We want to have people, a place for people to come to that lost a 20-year festival, And so this is kind of our time as locals to put the cool energy into the festival that you want to see thrive. So if you're not thinking of going to Cascade, or maybe you thought about it and haven't like purchased tickets, do it. Put your energy, like help to create something awesome here. Help to create something that's going to be here lasting for years to come. And who knows, maybe your favorite band will be booked here,
or
you know
or your favorite artists. Like I was
yeah.
gonna say, like last year, like supporting the local community last year, the Cosmic Drip stage had a local art collective known as the Haven.
Yes,
That set
And
up
they're coming back
bunch
this
of
year.
different spots. Yeah, and they're gonna be back this year, setting up all kinds of, like, every artist kind of had a cool hangout around them doing art.
It was
awesome.
wild.
There's like bean bags and stuff in one of them. Another one had funky chairs. There's like a little church in the middle
Yep.
that you could go in. There was like an art exhibit, and that's going to be returning.
Well, and that's where we did our performance. We didn't talk about.
Oh
our
yeah, No
performance.
Simple Road was live last year at
Yeah.
Cascade, and is going to be live this year again at Cascade Equinox on the Cosmic Drip stage on Saturday.
That's right. So we had the honor and pleasure of performing inside of that little artist collective. And last year we weren't as involved with the collective. We knew about them. We just hadn't really spent too much time with them. This year we're hoping to change that and maybe have a little space there to kind of hang out with No Simple Road if you want to do that. So we're still working on that, but whether that happens or not, that area is such a cool place. If you need to just kind of get your head right for a minute and just kind of kick back up and like kind of be away from the noise, but still be involved in everything, that is such a great place. Because like Apple said, they had all these like really cool little loungy areas. Some had like tea, little things like that where, you know what, I just need to rest my feet, or I just need to not hear something, or I just want to look at something cool and not be distracted. It's a really cool thing to do that.
And if you're into like exploring at a festival, this is endless.
Oh yeah.
There's endless like little weird corners with art, or
little,
you go
little benches.
Yeah,
all
a
along
place
the
to go sit.
trails.
They have a whole area this year I saw with just like a chill zone with like hammocks and chairs and places to go hang out. And then like Mel was saying, the wellness area, it was, I think, the second time I've ever seen IVs at a festival. And we actually were lucky to be able to utilize it at Winter Wondergrass. And let me tell you something, man. If you're hurting the day after or the day after the day after partying too hard, holy shit, man.
It can really bring you back to life.
For real, though.
I just want to say a shout out to nurses out there because listen, in the festival scene, you look at everybody, you don't know what they do for a living. This could be a construction worker. This could be a nurse. This could be a teacher. It could be an entrepreneur. You don't know. So when we get people that become part of like the festival scene and bring their professional occupation to the scene for everyone's benefit, that's dope. That's creating community. So when we went to Winter Wondergrass, I was talking to the nurses and talking to them about how they had put this together, and they just kind of saw a need. They saw a need. They knew that they could do it, and they created this. It was like 6 nurses that bought this little like fifth wheel, and they bring it to festivals, and it's clean, it's beautiful, it's as fast as you can possibly make it. And while you're getting your IV drip or whatever, you're listening to the music. It's not like you're out away from everything. So the fact that festivals are getting more like society, do you know what I mean? Like
all the little things you need.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy some new flip-flops. I'm also gonna go get an IV.
And I'm gonna get a reclaimed purse.
Yes. There was so many different really cool things that we didn't even get to do. Like we were like, oh, we're gonna set out to like talk to some vendors. We just got so busy in the
exploring
festival experience that we didn't get to do a lot of that. So I'm really excited about this year to go back and maybe kind of pick up where we left off and talk to some of the people that
now that we know it a little better, we know how to come at it.
Yeah. Well, I think that like, at least in my experience, each festival that we've been to has its own spirit. It's like a person, right? And they're likable or not likable for different reasons, depending on what your preferences are and who you are. But I think that the way Cascade made me feel last year was like this is our hometown homie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? This
Mm-hmm.
is where our entire fucking crew was there. It was huge. And we don't get that opportunity very often. Like if we go see Fish or travel out of town, there's part of us that are there. This was the first time that like the whole crew was all together somewhere.
Yeah, brought out our friends from the East Coast
and our out of town crew
from all over the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
We were out here for it.
And I remember when we came home feeling like that was the perfect mixture of electronic music and not electronic music. It felt like a choose your own adventure. Mm-hmm. As far as you could be like, okay, I want to go see, I don't know, Pretty Lights. And then, I've had enough of that. I'm going to go see the Garcia Birthday Band do late night instead of LPGOB because I've had enough electronic music. Or the other way around, I went and saw Polyrhythmics. Now I'm ready to go get my groove on with LP at the late night or whatever. So there was like this really smart mix of how they placed the music at each stage and what time they did it. So that depending on who you were and what your tastes are, you could craft your own perfect festival experience.
Well, Cascade Equinox could be like your own Sims. You could go there and be like, I am going to choose my own adventure and get one of the little, sheets and be like, okay, at 10 o'clock, I'm here. At 11, I'm here. And like for a writer or somebody who's into documenting, that could be a super fun thing to do.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right. To go in and like literally record or write down or video your experience of what Cascade, how you did Cascade. So like, how do you do Cascade? Could be a fun
good little thing you got going there.
Yeah.
Huh. Mel, well done.
Well done.
I wanted to ask you guys, I mean, I know that you wanted to go back because of No Simple Road, obviously, because we're doing our thing there and we're involved with it and it's part of our scene. But for you guys personally, what made you want to go back to Cascade apart from No Simple Road?
I think just the level of connection that we were able to have with our homies, and not just our homies that are our friends. I'm talking about our homies that are our musicians, because I remember we got to spend time with Eggy. We got to spend time with LeSpecial, World's Finest, Sean, musician, and our musical friends that were our home. So it really people, period. Whether it's a musician from across the city, it's like uninhibited time spent with friends for X amount of days. That's what it always is for me.
That was definitely something about Cascade that was really cool, is when the artists that were playing the festival weren't on their stage, you could see them hanging out with everybody.
And it's big enough for them to have like anonymity. You know what I mean? Like maybe someone will notice them, but it's not like they are going to be trapped. It felt really like open so that they can kind of spread out and do their thing, kind of enjoy the festival on their own, not just as a musician.
Yeah, I'm going to play and then I'm getting on my in my van or my bus and I'm out of here. Like it was cool to see Eggy and LeSpecial both out there like enjoying the music too.
Yeah, even though we missed each of their sets because we were recording at the same time. Like,
you know what's
the
funny?
other band was on.
It's like we've asked, and we'll get to yours, Apple, in a second. But what's funny is like when we ask musicians, like, "Oh man, do you ever get bummed out, like wanting to see another band because you're playing?"
Yeah.
And that happens for us too. Like we have. We're performing, we're doing our thing, and we want to be a part of the festival and see our favorite bands, but we're putting something out too, and we want people to see that also, and we want people to feel that.
And when that happens, you're at the mercy of when the artists have time to do it. Like
absolutely.
The first day we got there, me and Mel both told Aaron, do not set anything up for Saturday at 5 o'clock because that's when Digging Dirt was playing Harvest Stage. And you had no choice.
Yeah.
It was like when, let's say it was when La Special was available. It's like, this is the only time they have. So we saw a couple minutes of digging dirt and then had to do the interview, which was amazing and fun. But
what about you, Apple?
I'd say the top two things that come into my mind, first of all, is the timing of the festival being towards the end of September. Usually, like we've said before, going to Fish Dicks is like one of our last things. There might be some smaller things after, but being towards the end of September, the weather was perfect for the setting over there.
And it was a little chilly and perfect.
Yeah,
a little bit.
My other favorite thing is it's local festival, but we have to drive about 3 hours. It's in Oregon, but we leave our comfort zone. We're not at home.
Yeah. It's not 10 minutes from the house.
And it's such a beautiful, no matter how you go there from Portland, it is such a beautiful drive.
Yeah.
Whether you go the gorge area or whether you go over the mountains by Mount Hood, just the setting and the timing of it are two of the things that stand out the most to me.
I mean, you can't underestimate the importance of set and setting.
Yeah, it's some of the most important parts of it, and they nailed it. And then the other thing, like we talked about, is the way the grounds are set up, kind of like in that circle. It makes it so easy. To go. Everything is so easy to go to. There's the harvest stage and main stage. There's a little bleed over when you're caught in the middle between them, but the way it's spaced out and with the 3 stages that are indoors, like, it's a different experience in every spot you go to. And then you can just wander like we did. So I know I wandered off several times back by the wellness area. You're on the other side of the lake, and it's like you hear the music because it's right across the little lake.
Like mellow.
It's like mellow, and it's so beautiful. And the benches everywhere kind of reminds me of like a beautiful city park crossed with an amusement park,
crossed with a music really festival.
Clean.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. What about for you, baby?
Well, to go back,
and the root beer.
The root beer float.
Apple, that was like 10 things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I keep saying that.
Like we've been saying, we do a lot of stuff, and it's hard. We can't say yes to everything anymore. It's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually
mostly
not
it's physically
possible
draining these days.
And
and financially,
that too.
All work day jobs.
Yeah, that too. And if you sign up on Patreon for $1, that helps anyway. But I made it a point to go back to Cascade because they made me feel like we were part of the festival.
Yeah.
I the only other time that I've really felt like that was with Winter Wondergrass.
Absolutely. Winter Wondergrass, shout out.
But Cascade really involved us and made me feel like we were part of it. And so I wanted to go back because I wanted to help make it as good as it could possibly be. Sure. and do what we do.
Add
there.
To it. Yeah. Add to the soup.
But I have to say that, like, last year on Sunday night, after Goose, it had been like a really gloomy, kind of rainy, drizzly day, and everybody was kind of wet. It wasn't bad. It was just wet.
No, it was just like the Oregon.
It was Oregon. And
Oregon fun.
And Goose tore it up. And when Goose ended, LP was playing and Talking Dead was playing in the 2 indoor stage areas. They were playing right next to each other. And we went in and danced to LP for a little while and then walked next door to Talking Dead, which was Talking Heads cover band and the Garcia birthday band.
Amazing.
And they did this, like, the Talking Heads band was playing, and one at a time the Garcia birthday band guys would come up and switch out with them while the music was playing. And all of a sudden, if you looked away and then looked back, another band was on the stage. It was like this Siegfried and Roy moment.
Yeah, if you're like closing your eyes and dancing, all of a sudden you're dancing to like Psycho Killers, and next thing you know, you're like shake
down street. Yeah.
Like what?
Seamless.
But the vibe in that room that we were in when Talking Dead was playing was one of the most fucking badass moments of the entire summer last year.
I remember for you, like you had been talking about it like all the rest of the year.
I told you, I said I finally feel like you heard proper Grateful Dead music done right.
Well, and at that point, we were all basking in the ambiance of like what Cascade was, because it was like the last band, the last act. All of our friends were together.
We were all in there.
We're all exactly. We're like trying to party till the very last drop and
get all the juice out.
And it was pretty incredible. And you know what? That says a lot about Cascade too, because sometimes by that third day, you're fucking done.
Yeah.
You want to just get out. It's like, you're like, oh, start packing up a little early so people. No, this was like you wanted to squeeze it till the very last note. And that says something about the casting of the bands. That says something about the venue. That says something about the energy of the festival.
Yeah. I feel like, especially with something big like throwing a music festival, which we've been privy to the inner workings of it, and that shit ain't easy, man.
No, man.
There's a lot of moving parts. Logistically, it's hard. Financially, it's difficult. People are weird.
Marketing,
everything's hard right now. Everything's expensive, all that shit. So if we had that kind of time there last year, they've taken all the stuff that they learned from last year and have applied it to this year. So I feel like the experience of it is going to level up even more.
I agree. And I know that you guys haven't seen them, and I really mean this. Jungle has a certain vibe that they put out when they perform. It's I don't really know how to express it.
Is it jungly?
No, it's not jungly. It's not jungly at all. It's this kind of like expansive warmth that like brings everybody in.
Wow.
It's big. Like it's like a big sound, and they have like their lighting show was my favorite lighting show I'd seen at like period. Anyway, I just I'm really looking forward to it this year. I'm looking forward to you guys seeing Jungle. I'm really looking forward to seeing STS9.
That's what I was going to say.
A handful of people have told us many, many times that we need to see it. We need to see it.
Yes.
And I'm really looking forward to what we do there, because I feel like in the past couple performances that we've done at festivals, we're not just talking, and we're not just interviewing. We're trying to come up with different things every time. Not just for us, like we don't want to be bored listening to us. We want to be invigorated.
Say the same shit over and over again.
We want to like involve like what's happening at that moment. We want to involve maybe people that we haven't talked to before. So last year was a pretty different experience. We had Cam Hurt of Best Show Ever come out and talk with us. We had the tiniest audience. By the end, we definitely had more, but it was so solid. It was what
so
we
much
did
fun.
All our friends, everybody was watching Aggie.
Yeah,
we were up against Aggie.
You know what? And we're fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm
I get
fine
it.
with it. But I just wanted to say too, to what we do and why I feel it's important. At the end of the festival that we had just come from, which is Mojo Family Fest, I had a woman come up to me who was sharing her feeling about what we were doing. She kind of stumbled upon it. She didn't know what was going on or what was happening. And she was part of the festival, Beloved Festival, that they're also another festival that went under, but they were known as being more of like spiritually centered, yoga, fresh foods, lots of workshops and things like that. And she mentioned to me, she's like, what you guys did here really was reminiscent of Beloved Festival.
Wow.
Because we had done a ritual, a water ritual, a little ceremony. And it made me realize that it doesn't matter how many people are watching. It really doesn't. Like if you're stuck on numbers, then you're just going to get stuck on numbers, but it's really stuck on content. Like, what are we putting out? What are we doing? And I think that the three of us, even though we don't like stew over things for months and months, we kind of have like a hive mind here. And so even if we're not talking about it, I think we're all thinking about it. So when we finally come together and decide like what it is we're actually going to do, it becomes so perfect. It becomes like so right. It's like the thing that needed to happen in those moments. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to second year being in the Cosmic Drip, knowing more about the local artists, being more involved in it, and coming up with something that people are going to remember and feel is special.
I've learned that like when we're planning to do something live, the first few that we did, I like tried to come up with a set for us, something that we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is not a bad idea. You
no,
want to be
maybe not the content, but like not the
to,
content, but the topic
framework.
Yeah. And over the last few, I've learned that like I can't, first of all, I'm not there yet. So I don't know what's appropriate for there until I get there. And I figured out that like I need to be on site for a little while, feel the energy of the place, see what's going on, talk to people, and inevitably, if I just let go in that moment and let myself just be there, whatever we're supposed to do will come.
Yeah, the ground, just like a band, you have to play to the audience. You get there, and then the grounds and the people and everything,
the environment,
help
even
organically dictate what's going to happen.
Open your antenna and hear the festival speak.
As it's and talking about looking forward to things like just after Mel said, I'm really looking forward to seeing Liquid Stranger. I've always liked Liquid Stranger. Kind of, it's on the kind of tipper end of stuff.
Yeah.
Karina Reichman. Can't wait to see Karina throwing it down there with that
our
bass
homie Karina.
Just,
the Kitchen Dwellers
energy, the Kitchen Dwellers, the High Step Society, our boy Sponge.
Oh, shout out
Sage, they're gonna be rocking
David,
it. You know, there's so many, but those are a few of the highlights I'm looking forward to.
I gotta say, we haven't even mentioned this. Reggie Watts is gonna be there too. Having had him on the show a couple of months ago and getting to know him a little bit, whatever he does is going to be epic.
I really admire his craft.
He's a genius.
You know, whatever, like I love a lot of people's music. I think a lot of people are awesome, but what Reggie Watts does, I think is the most innovative that I've seen in this time that I fucking love.
It's hilarious and then not.
I just love to think. I love when people throw stuff out there for me to chew on brain wise. And when he starts doing things musically and lyrically that is like literally out of this world, it has me thinking forever. And he's a hair twin. I love that.
I thought it was kind of trippy. I was thinking about this the other day. Like I saw him on Joe Rogan, right? And was like, wow, I'd really love to have him on No Simple Road. I have never seen him on a festival lineup. Yeah. Didn't know if he knew anything about our world and scene. We had him on the show. We released the episode. Like a month after we released the episode, we see he's going to be at the Oregon Country Fair.
Yeah, that was strange.
I was like, what the fuck? Then I see him on the lineup for Cascade. And I was like, is Reggie Watts following us around?
We wish. We wish, Reggie. I hope that that's what you're doing.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it was just very strange because I'd never seen him in our world. And then all of a sudden, here he is all over the place.
That's how things happen.
This is the cool thing.
In the banana world.
Absolutely. Yes.
The banana vibe.
And so this is just another little thought. Banana vibes. We're going to have banana vibes at Cascade Equinox. If you want to join the banana vibe crew, do it. If you were already a part of it, even before I said this, congratulations.
Mel, you're letting the cat out of the bag on the show?
I sure am.
Oh,
and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you get. You if you want to expand or reach out about it, that's on you.
Another thing worth mentioning, I believe, which I wasn't aware of until we were there, and you see huge airplanes flying over the venue. Remember that there's an airport right there in Redmond, like full-size 737 big
no,
jet.
I don't remember this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were flying right
there was
over.
Airplanes, man.
Yeah, during pretty light. Yeah,
Dope.
The flight path is kind of over the festival grounds, and also you're like listening to music, and all of a sudden the sky's lit up and here's a jet. But that makes it so that they can fly artists
Oh yeah.
Make it convenient. I mean, because this is the other side of Oregon. Kind of, there's not a lot out there in the high desert side of Oregon. You could fly artists in, and then if like you're flying from somewhere in the country, I don't know how much more flights are to fly into a smaller airport like there, but it's an option.
It's available.
You could fly right into Redmond. You don't even need a rental car or anything. You could fly in and you could get to the grounds. And
boy, are your arms going to be tired.
It's a convenience that most spots like that don't have.
I just think after all this Cascade talk, join the bus, dude. Get on the bus.
Gus.
Come on down. Fly down like Apple was talking about. Hitchhike down. Freaking, rally up your friends. And
ride a
come
llama.
Down. Dude, all of it. All of it. Come down one day, the whole weekend, whatever. The last thing I want to say about last year was how incredible, like capital I, incredible. Now I forgot the name. I forgot the name of it.
I have no idea what you're about to say, so I can't help you.
Pretty Lights.
You are on your own.
Okay, there we go. Boom.
Pretty Lights, and just a little brain fart. But it was such an epic moment. Wasn't there rain? A little bit of rain coming down, like some.
I didn't remember airplanes. I'm not going to remember.
I felt Pretty Lights if there was.
I felt like there was like little, spitty rain,
like mist, Oregon mist.
Maybe, I don't remember on Saturday.
Maybe it's my imagination.
It might have been me sweating, dancing next to you. It could have absolutely been that.
I just remember that they had like a power problem in the beginning, and it was like the best recovery ever.
I've got the power.
Well, Elizabeth had been telling us how much we needed to see.
She was so excited
from the Almost Familiar podcast.
From Almost Familiar podcast, and we actually got to ring it in with her.
Yeah,
and that to me, that meant everything.
I remember we were like up with all of our crew, the Festesia crew. Everybody was up there, and Apple was there for like maybe 4 minutes. And he was like, it's too crowded up here. I'm out. And he went and danced in the back. And when we were done, he was like, holy shit, grandma and grandpa fucking raged the rail the whole time.
Stayed up in. I tried to come back in, but there was no coming back in once.
No. No, you weren't.
It was like, okay, I'm not. But
it was funny. It was sometimes annoying. It was hilarious. It was invigorating. It was all of it. Like somebody stepping on your feet and you like get pissed off, and then immediately some awesome music happens. You're like, what happened? Like it just was all encompassing.
No matter what happens there's all like the crew was some of our crew was spread out. Like when I couldn't get back up by you guys, then I ended up going over by the Ferris wheel, and there I run into Aggie and La Special all hanging out with each other, watching Pretty Lights. Some of them are getting ready to hit the road, so that was like a moment. Got to hang out with them, fuck around.
Right
I did. I had two things. I had a black beanie that. It was my favorite beanie in the world. If you know me, like I love beanies, and this beanie like fit perfect. No embellishments on it, just a plain black beanie, but they're not all created equal. This was my favorite. I had it forever.
Right.
And then I had a green shamag, like a pashmina thing.
Scarf.
And I have had that thing since we lived in Vegas. It's been to every show with me.
They're like 20 plus years old, or not 20, but like
that thing is
10.
like has some mojo in it. These are like two of my totem items that make up, if clothes make the man, these are me items. And after Goose, our crew went to go watch LP. And when I got into the barn where LP was playing, I noticed that my shamag and my beanie were gone. And I was like totally okay with it. I remember Mel being like, oh my God, let's go look for them. And I was like, no, I have donated them to the festival god. We're coming back next year.
Else.
Those are my offering to Cascade.
Like if y'all don't even understand, like Aaron always has his shamag. For every concert, he's wiping his sweat, he's wiping his brow, got it around his shoulders, the whole thing. Years and years and years ago, Aaron bought me and him one at the same exact time. So mine, I rarely use. I use on occasion if it matches or whatever. So mine was in mint, pristine.
Mine was
condition.
all ripped.
His was ripped and frayed and like thin from being washed so much. And after he lost that, I gave him mine.
Yeah, I got a replacement. But I am glad that I gave my offering to the Cascade Equinox gods.
Good job.
Because we're going back this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
And somebody found that and
threw
felt
it
the
right in the trash
mojo.
because
Okay.
I wouldn't have touched that.
So I'm gonna just say I already said the headliners. So I want to just say a couple more before we start wrapping up. Barclay, Crenshaw, Daily Bread.
I can't wait to see Daily Bread.
Deltron 3030, Dirt Wires coming back.
Hell yeah.
That was a dope
That was
set.
some powerful mojo they threw down.
Yeah.
The Floozies, Justin J, John Craigie and the Shook Twins, which we are looking forward to that. Kitchen Dwellers, Poolside, Neil Francis.
What?
Did we even think?
I didn't know.
The Motet. I'm really
holy shit.
Soul, Ravenscoon, Recno, Citrus, which we love Citrus.
Yep.
They're awesome. Free Creatures.
Free Creatures is dope
Madeline Hawthorne, Zach Darling, Wolfchild, Ryan Mount Blue Band, Living Roots, Coop Steppa, Goodnight Texas, Sugar Beats, and the Talking Dead's gonna be back.
Fuck yeah.
The Alchemist, Blackstrap Bluegrass. So I mean, I want to get some of these in because maybe you know them and you're like, hell yeah. Feathered Indians, Heaven Zest, Skillet Head.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Whoever they are, that's awesome.
The Flying Skulls, Joel Chad, Takimba, which we just saw at Mojo Family Fest, Teb, let's see, Tyler Spencer, Smokovich, Steelhead, Sunsay, and the Has-Beens, DJ PK.
Oh, Pete.
Yeah, Call Down Thunder, and more to come.
More to come.
Yeah,
and hey,
and No Simple Road.
No Simple Road from the Cosmic Drip on Saturday. So listen,
you got lots of time.
We
got
lots of
75 days. The countdown is on the site.
I mean, if you want to know exactly how much time there is before Cascade Equinox, it's on their website, like Apple said. But you should go check it out. This is the thing. If you're on the fence for this one, I can't stress enough how comfortable, fun, and innovative,
and it kind of was relaxing.
Yeah,
like remember we were talking about festivals that are and aren't relaxing.
Yeah, like Bonnaroo, I can't see would be
not relaxing, but there's certain ones that are but I wanted to say something about what I learned this Mojo Family Fest that you taught me, Aaron.
What's that?
You were talking about our set, and you kind of had changed it after we made up a whole thing that we were going to do.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know what? I just want to normalize talking. At a festival, there's so much stimulation, from the sweet foods to the loud music to the lights and all that. Sometimes you just want to chill out. And what that means is like, you just don't want to engage. Maybe you just want to sit and listen, or just let somebody say something without having to like be a show. And I learned a lot from that idea, because it doesn't matter again about the numbers. It matters that the people that were there, that they got fed something. And I know that when we're all together doing our thing, that we have a powerful, calming, loving thing going on. And so I just implore you guys, if you're going to come to Mojo Family Fest, come visit us for
to
our
Cascade Equinox.
Oh gosh, not a Mojo. Sorry,
that's over.
Mojo
that already happened.
That already
Next
happened.
year.
You guys already did that. Well, you visited us. Thank you for doing that. I'm talking about Cascade. So yeah, I'm just imploring you to come hang out at Cascade, come see our set, come enjoy and bring your vibe to the festival, and we'll see you in September.
Yeah. Well, where I was coming from with all that, Mel, is like you said, there's a lot of stimulation at a music festival. There's a lot going on. You're doing a lot of things, some mostly extracurricular and all that. And sometimes things can get weird and hard. And when all that stuff is going on, it's not easy to always find the time to sit down with your friends and be like, hey, I'm having a difficult this right now. You have to kind of like grin and bear it because everybody's having fun and you only have 3 days and you don't want to fuck the vibe up for anybody and oh my God, and all that. No, like it took me a day to get into it and I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, man, that's
Well, and after you talked about it, people came up to you and was like, I really felt what you were talking about. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So-
I can't believe that I'm the only one.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so
we're not.
no. So that's the deal. You can go to the website Cascade Equinox and get tickets now. There is or will be a link on the No Simple Road site for you to click through to get tickets as well.
On Instagram, it's Cascade_Equinox.
Right. Go follow them.
And just remember to go check out their site, all the things they're doing, because this is something, I mean, you could plan a whole week vacation around this with all the excursions available that they all, I mean, Bend and Redmond is known as a very recreational area,
outdoorsy.
Yeah.
Yes.
There, I mean, there is fishing, there's, rafting down the river, there is the mountain biking, there are so many things to do there, so many camps, like so many places to go see, campgrounds. Like the area is worth exploring outside of just the festival.
So everybody, guess what?
What?
We'll see you there.
Yeah.
Cascade Equinox
with literal bells on. I'll have bells
Mel
on.
will have bells on. I'm not I'm not a costume bell guy. But until then, we'd like you to take care of each other. Smile at a stranger. Safety third. Hydrate.
Yep. Stay hydrated.
And get your tickets now.
Summertime.
It's
Yeah,
time,
get your
it's time-
tickets now.
time. Just get off the fucking fence. Come on, man. Come with us. Peace.